Wyduck here, welcoming you to another replay, this time on Bel Shir Vestige. We have, spawning in the bottom right as the red Protoss, we have My Insanity's Stardust. And his opponent, in the top left, representing the Netherlands and mouse control, we've got Darkomicron. And so if you guys don't know who Stardust is, he's been playing for quite a while, but just came to recent fame as he was able to win the DreamHack Summer Edition, beating J-Dog 3-2 in the final to take the big prize, and actually came in 3rd and 4th position in DreamHack Valencia, so very solid results from this Korean. So he's not completely unknown now. He's won a major tournament, beating the Tyrant in the final, like I mentioned before. So I'm very interested to see what kind of style he's going to go for. He's putting down the gateway, and his probe is going to be looking for some proxies in his natural. And in fact, the probe is just going to go back after not detecting any proxy pylons. Darkomicron is actually going for 2 assimilators. And Stardust is doing the same thing. So very, very similar builds for both players. Neither playing opting for some pylon trickery nor proxy pylons. And interesting, the cybernetics core for Stardust is actually his very front structure, is his most front structure. That's a little bit interesting. Usually tech structures are in the back unless they're being used to wall off, but there is no wall off here. And this is something else that's interesting. Stardust has 3 probes on this assimilator and 1 on this one, and now 2. So he's calculating perfectly how much gas he needs. Both players opting for a macroeconomic play. They're not scouting each other. Neither have sent out probes to scout out the opponent's base. So if someone was doing a proxy Stargate or proxy Gateway or going for Templar archives, neither player would know. So this is very interesting. They must be very comfortable with their own strategy, thinking that they can handle whatever is going to come their way. And Stardust is going to be sending out his 1-1-1 trio of a Zealot Stalker and the Mothership Core. Darkomicron just had his Mothership Core come out. He has a Sentry instead of a Stalker, and Stardust is going to have some early aggression here. Darkomicron has put down the Expansion Nexus at his natural, and unfortunately the Stalker is going to see that immediately. He's waiting for reinforcements. There is a probe and Stalker coming to reinforce this, and there's 3 more gateways being constructed behind this. Stardust is going to avoid the Nexus and go straight for the ramp. And this is very interesting. Who's going to win here? Is it the Stalker? Yes, the Stalker is able to take down the Sentry. The Zealot goes down for Stardust. And this Stalker is destroyed by Darkomicron. So great pickoff, and now this other Stalker by Stardust is under threat. He's going to have to run if he wants to survive. No, he gets picked off, and now, with 1 more hit on it as well, Darkomicron is also able to pick off the Mothership Core, and now this forward offensive pylon by Stardust, I don't know how much damage this can do. He's putting down another, as he actually has no units here. If Darkomicron did not pull back and just scouted a little bit further to the right, he knows there's a pylon warping in there, but he didn't do anything about it. And now with 4 Stalkers warping in for Stardust, he's going to be able to put some early game pressure on this Expansion Nexus. Units lost show a huge advantage for Darkomicron, 650 to 250. But now with 6 Stalkers knocking on his front door, he's just going to be waiting, or Stardust is just going to be waiting for that Nexus cannon to wear off. And this Mothership Core does not have enough energy for a second volley. And with the force field on the ramp, the reinforcements are going to have a difficult, but actually an impossible time to get down to the ramp to defend the Nexus. So this aggression by Stardust seems to be effective right now, but he really needs to do some damage as he is behind economically. He's not waiting for the Nexus to wear off, and so he's taken some damage, nothing permanent yet. Now the Nexus cannon has worn off, and here come the flood of Stalkers and Sentries. Able to take off that one lone probe mining. Unfortunate, he was sent out in no man's land to do some dangerous mining work. But Darkomicron does have a second Immortal on its way. Is Darkomicron gonna concede this Nexus? I think so. The Nexus is almost finished, and it's one more hit away. Now it's finished. So Darkomicron put down the Nexus, loses it right away, but he does have the robotics facility, and he is building a Colossus behind this. So he's got 2 Immortals and a Colossus. Once that Colossus comes out, it's going to be very difficult for Stardust to continuously put pressure on his opponent. He is getting his own robotics facility and warping out an Immortal, but he is not going to be able to deal with this. Sending in a hallucinated Phoenix to scan around the base, he's able to see all the tech structures, sees a robotics bay, so he knows Colossi are coming out. And now this is the standstill. Even though the supply lead is heavily in Darkomicron's favor, he's got a 10 supply lead. Now he's going to finally push out. That force field is useless against massive units. Colossi just crushes immediately. And Stardust is also going to lose these 2 pylons. The Stalkers are just running out of there. Wise move by Stardust. He knows he can't hold. The supplies have evened out. And so has the resources lost. But behind that offensive, Stardust got his own Nexus at his natural. And now the pressure is on Darkomicron to do some economic damage. Otherwise, Stardust is going to be able to build up a huge economic advantage. He has to be able to destroy some probes, maybe the Nexus, to even things out. And that wily Stardust. He ran 4 Zealots up to the 3rd of Darkomicron's, and now he's in the main. There's nothing in here. Unfortunately, they don't have Zealot charge yet, but still, 4 Zealots in the main is very annoying. The probes are getting hacked up. At the same time, Darkomicron's going to push into the natural of Stardust. Stardust puts down the Nexus cannon, and immediately Darkomicron is going to withdraw. But these 4 Zealots have already done significant damage. They're able to pick off a few probes, and not only that, able to distract and stop the mining time. The probes are actually going to come in here and help the Zealots hack away. And this attack by Stardust is still going on in the main of Darkomicron. Even though these Zealots are very weak, 1 left, able to take away another probe. So 8 probes have been finished off by Stardust. Stardust is holding off this attack with the Colossi from Darkomicron. Once again, the force fields are not that effective if the Colossi wants to walk forward. But if the Colossi walks forward, he does lose his range benefit. So these force fields are doing something. Supplies are nearly identical. But Stardust does have an extra Immortal, and Colossi do fall prey to Immortals very easily. The Nexus is still here for Stardust. Stardust has to hold off this attack if he wants to keep his economic advantage. Force fields, more force fields go down, except this time for Darkomicron. And now this Immortal is caught in no man's land. But Darkomicron doesn't like the concave here. He's going to have to retreat. This ledge area is a little bit tight, and so once you engage, it's very difficult as the attacker get the advantage. Look at the defender. He has a larger arc. He's able to fire off way more shots easily. The 3 Immortals are tangoing with 2 Immortals, but unfortunately it looks like Darkomicron's going to pull ahead here. Stardust is warping in as many units as he can. He's got 4 more Zealots warping in, but he's lost 1. He's lost 1 Immortal, but Darkomicron's Colossi finally falls. Stardust's second Immortal is gone. Now it's 1-on-1 for Immortal counts. And with 4 more Zealots warping in from Darkomicron, it looks like Stardust is trying to withdraw. Both players are at 43 supply. More Zealots are coming in for both players. And now the sentries are in, trying to block off with force fields. Sentries do not do that much damage, and the zealots are going to eat them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But Stardust, lone immortal, is doing a lot of damage. He's in the red, but he's still able to take pot shots at the units. He only got one shield left, and finally, Stardust Immortal is destroyed. There are no probes mining at the natural. And now Stardust units are cut off here. He's trying to make a getaway to the ramp. His two sentries, one of them's not going to make it. The second one does. And now the advantage, army-wise, is in Darkomicron's hands. Darkomicron has 5 zealots, 1 immortal, 1 stalker, 2 sentries. And all Stardust has is 1 zealot, 1 immortal, and 3 sentries. And Stardust Nexus is going to go bye-bye. And at the same time, Darkomicron is saying hi-hi to his own Nexus that he's warping in. It'll be in play in the next minute or so. And now roles have completely reversed. Both players losing a Nexus, but it looks like Darkomicron does have the significant advantage here as he is just holding out at the ramp, making Stardust have the first move. Force fields go down. 2 zealots get picked off for the price of 1 zealot. It's a 2-for-1 sale. Darkomicron's going to take that trade any time of day. And resources lost show significantly that Stardust is far behind by about 2,500 resources. He's still pumping out immortals. Darkomicron has retreated, but he does have the supply advantage and the economic advantage. And now is Stardust going to go for another counterattack. The Warp Prism from Stardust was not able to do too much, unfortunately. It's going to warp in some offensive zealots here at the ramp. And load them up. And here we go. The Warp Prism is going to scoot in for another encounter. We'll have to pay attention to where this buddy is going to go. Actually, he's going to go around the south side of the map. He's at the center of the map, and then he's going to move in left. And I like this play. Instead of darting directly into Darkomicron's base and possibly getting detected, he's taking a U-shaped route to it. He's going to try and... Stardust is intelligent here. He's going to try and distract Darkomicron in the main, and then... Oh, no, he's not going to do that. I thought he was going to go for 2 different attacks at the same time. Darkomicron should be able to hold this off. The 2 zealots and the 2 sentries were able to pick off a few units, able to destroy 1 probe. I don't think that was really worth it, but they're going to dump off in the back and cause more damage to the tech structures. But once again, all the zealots are coming in, and Stardust is going to have to retreat and fight another day. So Stardust is going for the harass, but he's not able to do that much. And now both players have kind of leveled out a little bit, stabilized. Stardust is still trying to harass with the Warp Prism, but not able to do too much. And those shields regenerate very quickly. And Stardust says, heck with that, it's not working. But unfortunately, if you take a look at the supplies, you know who's leading, as Darkomicron has built up a 24 supply advantage over Stardust. The main of Stardust is almost mined out. Darkomicron still has quite a few minerals left. Both players have stabilized. But the longer this goes on, the tougher it's going to get for Stardust to be able to win this game. He's putting down a Twilight Council. At the same time, he's dropping 2 immortals into the main, and he's going to warp in zealots. Interesting play. The warp drive is taking significant damage from these 2 stalkers, and now it goes bye-bye. So now these zealots and immortals are stuck in the base. So unfortunately, he's going to lose these immortals, and I don't know if that was a great deal to pick off some probes. And there's not much that he can do now. He's going to try and lure in the units, take down a few more stalkers before the immortals go bye-bye. Resources lost still show a huge advantage for Darkomicron. He did lose 7 probes in that attack. So that economic advantage is cut a little bit. Stardust is going around seeing if there's a 4th possibly, or a ninja 3rd by Darkomicron. Darkomicron is putting down a proxy pylon near the center of the map. And here's a sneaky, sneaky Stardust. He's put a proxy pylon on the left side of the map, putting a Dark Shrine there. So he's going to be going for the ninja sneak attack with the invisible Dark Templars. Able to see the third, but he's actually just going to go around. And Darkomicron, I don't think he saw that. And now it might be a base trade sort of situation here. Yes, it's going to be a base trade situation here. Stardust does have the mothership core, and Darkomicron doesn't, so Stardust could, in theory, warp back to his base, but I don't think his units could deal with this large unit composition with 2 Colossi, Stalkers, Sentries, and Immortals. And Darkomicron's trying to warp up the Observer, probably thinking the only thing that can beat him are Dark Templars, and he's right. But unfortunately, the Dark Templars are already out, and now Darkomicron has a huge problem. His robotics facility was destroyed. His supply is plummeting very quickly, even more so than Stardust. Stardust is just checking around the base, looking for other robotics facilities. There is no forge, there are no cannons, and it's gonna be basically impossible. Darkomicron can't fight what he can't see. And so these Dark Templars are just gonna chase this army around until the end of time, or until they're all dead, whichever comes first. Stardust is just destroying all the buildings in Darkomicron's base unopposed. The Dark Templars are still chasing all these units, and I don't see how Darkomicron's gonna be able to do anything. He does not have any observers. Darkomicron is now behind in supply. There's 2 observers for Stardust and none for Darkomicron. Darkomicron's going to walk in here, able to destroy all the units. This Nexus is going to go down. There's only a Stalker and a Zealot in the main. Darkomicron does have a probe and a Nexus. Well, now he just has a Nexus. Unfortunately, this is going to be curtains for Darkomicron. Oh, actually, no. He has the robotics facility hidden at Stardust's natural third. So, very interesting play. He's got the observer out now. Is Stardust going to be able to destroy the key structures and the army? Stardust's army supply is not that great. Army supply is 55 to 28 in favor of Darkomicron. So unless the Observer can be taken out by Stardust, Darkomicron might win this one. Here's the Observer. There goes the Dark Templar. And Stardust now knows he's in a lot of trouble here. He knows that Darkomicron does have detection. He's still long distance mining into his natural back to his main. And even though the supplies are in Darkomicron's favor, he has no probes. This Dark Templar has 3 kills. And he has no Nexus and now is being revealed. The Dark Templar is going to work on all these units in the main. Also, the robotics facility is finally revealed, but the Observer is already out. The 3 lonely Stalkers are going to try and pick off this pylon, actually microing every shot and then moving more to the left just in case there are reinforcements. And here's the attack from Darkomicron. He's going to stop this probe train. And now he's going into the main. And actually the Warp Prism is carrying an Immortal and 4 probes away. He doesn't have enough to build a Nexus, or a pylon. I'm not sure what these probes are going to do. But this is a situation where actually, if these few buildings of Darkomicron is taken out, Darkomicron will lose. Darkomicron has left half his force protecting this pylon. That will be his last stand. The Zealot and Dark Templar are finishing off the last 4 structures. And basically, it's only this pylon left. So this is very interesting. And now Darkomicron has sold all his forces to his last pylon. That is the last building he needs to defend. Otherwise, he will be eliminated from the game. And I love it when you're down to your last building, because basically that's the only time where you can't say GG. Because once your last building is destroyed, the game ends, you lose or you win, but there's no time to type GG. So this is one of the rare times that you will not see a GG in a game, well, unless there's just a bad-mannered player, which can also occur. So the key here for Stardust is to knock out this Observer. And the key for Darkomicron is to keep the Observer. So very simple here. Stardust is going to split all his forces. And he's still got that Warp Prism. And don't count that out. It is very quick. And if you can micro units, you can pick them up. You can drop them off. They don't take damage. And here we go. Stardust has 2 Dark Templars and Immortal in the Warp Prism. And he's actually going to be pulling his probes as well. That Lone Zealot was picked off by the probes. Hallucinated Phoenix from Darkomicron is going to try and scout around and see where the forces are of Stardust. And now it just looks like a standstill. Neither player is budging. Darkomicron has double question marks for Stardust. And here's the attack. Stardust is moving in with all his probes, doing everything they can to destroy that one pylon. Is he able to do it? He's picking up and... oh, there we go! My gosh, Stardust was able to defeat Darkomicron. He brought the Warp Prism in, distracted all the units with his Stalkers and his probes, dropped the Immortal, and focus fired down the pylon. Great strategy by Stardust. He knew he didn't even have to fight the army. I was focusing on the Observers. He's focusing on the pylon. Great job by Stardust, and a very entertaining way to end this game. Thanks again, guys, and see you next time.